A creator deity or creator god is a deity responsible for the creation of the earth, world, and universe in human religion and mythology.
In this video, we share you the information about the gods of creation in different mythologies. So let's get started.
In Greek mythology, Phanes was the god of creation.
Phanes was the primordial god protogenos of creation in the Orphic cosmogony. He was the generator of life, the driving force behind reproduction in the early cosmos.
Phanes was hatched from the world egg, a primordial mix of elements split into its constituent parts by Chronos time, and an inevitability.
Phanes was the first king of the universe who handed the royal scepter over to his daughter Nyx Night, who in turn handed it down to her son Uranus heaven.
It was then seized by the Titan Cronus, and afterwards by Zeus, the ultimate ruler of the cosmos.
Some say Zeus devoured Phanes in order to absorb his power and redistribute it among a new generation of gods, the Olympians he would sire.
Phanes was described as a beautiful, golden-winged, hermaphroditic deity wrapped in the claws of a serpent. His name means bring to light or make appear from the Greek verbs phana and phane.
In Greek mythology, Ra was the god of creation.
I was the king of the deities and the father of all creation. He was the patron of the sun, heaven, kingship, power, and light. He was not only the deity who governed the actions of the sun, he could also be the physical sun itself, as well as the day.
While he possessed many literal forms, Ra also expressed himself differently when combined with other deities.
When associated with Amun, one of the great unknowable creator deities, he became Amun-I and represented the raw, universal power of the sun. Combined with Horus, he became I-Horichi or I-Horus in the horizon. Horus represented I in human form as the pharaoh in Egypt.
Ra could also take the guise of his fierce daughter, Sekhmet, or his loving daughter, Hathor.
He moved the sun across the sky as the beetle Khepri and brought it back through the underworld on a mythical barge.
The Egyptians were an agricultural society living in a desert, so not surprisingly, the sun and thereby Ra was an integral component of their cosmos, guiding their thoughts and actions.
In Hindu mythology, Brahma was the god of creation. Brahma is a Hindu god, referred to as the creator within the Trimurti, the trinity of supreme divinity that includes Vishnu and Shiva.
He is associated with creation, knowledge, and the Vedas. Brahma is prominently mentioned in creation legends. In some Puranas, he created himself in a golden embryo known as the Hiranyagarbha.
Brahma is frequently identified with the Vedic god Prajapati. During the post-Vedic period, Brahma was a prominent deity and his sect existed. However, by the 7th century, he had lost his significance.
He was also overshadowed by other major deities like Vishnu, Shiva, and Devi, and demoted to the role of a secondary creator who was created by the major deities.
Brahma is commonly depicted as a red or golden complexioned bearded man, with 4 heads and hands. His 4 heads represent the 4 Vedas and are pointed to the 4 cardinal directions.
He is seated on a lotus and his Vahana mount is a Hamsa swan, goose or crane. According to the scriptures, Brahma created his children from his mind and thus they are referred to as Manasaputra.
In contemporary Hinduism, Brahma does not enjoy popular worship and has substantially less importance than the other 2 members of the Trimurti. Brahma is revered in the ancient texts, yet rarely worshipped as a primary deity in India, owing to the absence of any significant sect dedicated to his veneration.
Very few temples dedicated to him exist in India, the most famous being the Brahma Temple, Pushkar in Rajasthan. Some Brahma temples are found outside India, such as at the Erawan Shrine in Bangkok.
In Chinese mythology, Pangu was the god of creation.
Pangu is a primordial being and creation figure in Chinese mythology who separated heaven and earth and became geographic features such as mountains and rivers.
In Slavic mythology, Svarog was the god of creation.
The deity Svarog or Rod is a creator and considered a father god to many other figures in Slavic mythology, including Perun, a god of thunder and the sky. His opposite is Veles, who is associated with the sea and chaos. Together, They bring balance to the world.
In Celtic mythology, Dagda was the god of creation. The Dagda is an important god in Irish mythology, one of the Tuatha Dé Danann. The Dagda is portrayed as a father figure, king and druid. He is associated with fertility, agriculture, manliness and strength, as well as magic, druidry and wisdom. He can control life and death, the weather and crops, as well as time and the seasons.